Welcome to the Pacers podcast on today's special edition, General NBA, and we're going to start off with, do you know what time it is? It's Dame time. It's Dame time. That's what we're going to start. So Dame 71, we watched that before the podcast. Blew my mind. I love Dame time just because I love doing the what time is it, and then everybody hate me for saying
big Dame fan.
Yeah,
he's a big Dame fan.
So my biggest thing I took from it is a stat I heard that he hit 8 threes off the dribble, which is crazy, and like especially a 71-point game, crazy. He's definitely up there with like all-time scorers, even though.
Whoa, for real?
I really think so.
Okay.
I think
we didn't discuss that before the podcast.
I think he loses a lot of respect from him just because his team never does anything. You know? Sure. But, like, he hit that shot on the Rockets in the playoffs.
All-time scorer? Like, top 10? Top 5? For real?
Not top 5. See, now you're asking me too much. But
I asked you one question about that. I asked you one question about that.
So he hit that shot on the Rockets to win the series, and then he hit that Paul George shot, which is, like, to me, the best playoff shot.
He has some of the best highlights.
Yeah,
ever,
he has.
For sure.
He definitely has the best deep shot ever in NBA history.
I'll give you that.
100%.
Probably. Well, the coolest one, the most relevant one. There's probably been like Joe Schmo in like the 70s who were like, man, a half-court shot, you know, like a full-court shot or 4 minutes. You know what I mean? It's like no one gives a shit. But like the most like intense, relevant one, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so next, the Bucks 16.
Taylor Johnson from deep. Wow. You know, who gives a fuck?
So the Bucks 16-game winning streak. I don't have much to say about it except the biggest thing I want to talk about with that is what kind of contenders do you think they are?
I think the Bucks have proven that they can make it to the promised land. Okay.
This year?
They've won a championship.
I know, but like this year, you think that's like a good possibility?
16-week game winning streak? That's fucking hardcore.
Yeah.
That's hardcore.
It's hard to believe in them just for the fact of
they won a championship 2 years ago.
I hear that, and every time I hear that, it still kind of like blows my mind because Giannis is like otherworldly.
Yes,
but it's just like when I think about like the top like 5 teams in the NBA, the Bucks aren't one that comes
because they're not cool. You gotta forget that. We're Pacers fans. We're not cool.
And they're Milwaukee.
Dude, I had this thought, okay? If Benedict Mathurin was to say on the Lakers, he would be like in commercials. He'd probably have some type of deal. Yada, yada, yada. Because he's on the Pacers. The Pacers aren't cool. No one gives a shit about the Pacers. He doesn't get a lot of shine. That's why it's even harder for him to break out into like a 6-man or a Rookie of the Year role because he doesn't have enough eyes on him. Because he's not cool. The team like the Bucks, what is it? Milwaukee, dude?
Yeah.
Wisconsin? No one cares.
That is why I give more respect to Giannis, though. It's like he won a championship in Milwaukee.
Yes, and Giannis had every opportunity to leave. He said, from day one, he goes, no, build a team around me, and look what happened.
And like
most respect you can give to a player, a champion.
On the same note, I give a lot of respect for Kawhi winning a championship for the Raptors, bro. Like, that championship means, like, not quite, but, like, almost double because, like, you went on the Raptors. Because, like, who cares about the team you have around you? Like, and it wasn't that great of a team.
It was a young, developing Raptors team where Siakam was just, like, okay. And then they had some other, they had Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry is still, like, your best.
Van Fleet and all that stuff. They had a good squad, but, like, then you put, like, prime Kawhi in. Crazy.
All right, so next topic. KD trade.
A little late to the party. I mean, clearly we've been following it, but we haven't really discussed it. It's the most lopsided, probably one of the worst trades I've seen in recent history, next to the Rudy Gobert trade, which is that was probably so far the worst trade I've ever seen. But KD, you gave away KD and got not even
you can
half.
stop there. You can stop there. You
gave away KD.
Yeah, like
you gave away a one of the best players that ever played a game, arguably. I think a lot of people can agree on that.
Top 15?
At least one of the best scorers, you could say.
Yeah.
For what?
Because, no matter how many, picks you get, even if you had 4 number 1 picks in a row, you're probably still not getting KD.
No, dude, it's not enough.
Yeah.
You need fucking all-star. You need a top 10 player in return for KD, at least.
Yeah.
Top 20 at least. And then a top 20 and like a lot of picks. Like they got what's the point of trading Kyrie out of spite and then trading KD? That's the whole thing. Trading Kyrie because you have whatever opposing views, and then trading KD because he just requested
the Lakers. They could have got the whole bag. From
if the Nets front office was competent after trading away Harden, KD, and Kyrie, you should have such a good. At least a very like a medium level squad,
all-star,
and then a very bright future. Right now, it doesn't look like either that's on the table. So, what the hell are they doing?
Good transfer from that though. The game we just finished watching, Nets versus Celtics. Mikal Bridges almost scores 40 points. Yeah. They were down 26.
It was bad. It was ugly.
We literally tuned into the game when they were down that 26.
Around halftime, yeah.
Yeah, at the worst point, that's when I turned that on and I was like, man, I don't even want to watch this. I'm going to go straight to the podcast.
Yeah.
He was the one that was like, hey, let's do a podcast after the game. I'm like, yeah, sure. Whatever. They went on a 92-52 run after that. And
crazy.
If you're a Celtics fan, all your championship hopes should have died tonight.
Let's touch on this real quick. I don't like the Celtics.
I don't either. We got a lot of friends that are Celtics fans, and they think they're like the best, and they're just not.
There's just something about a Celtics fan that grinds my gears. I don't like the Celtics.
I don't either.
As a Pacers fan, there are enemies.
Yeah.
If you're a Celtics fan, just turn this off right.
Unsubscribe.
Unsubscribe.
Unsubscribe and give us a dislike if you're a Celtics
Give us a dislike and also go fuck yourself. Yeah. Continue.
All right. Next thing, and this one kills me to even bring up the Westbrook thing. And the biggest thing I want to say about this before we go on any further is as soon as the Clippers picked up, Westbrook, they've gone 0-4 since, but as soon as they picked it up, all I could think of, there would be no better troll in NBA history if the Lakers just sucked with Westbrook.
And he just came back as a god.
Yeah, and he just balled out for Clippers. That would be awesome. That'd be the best storyline ever. Yeah. But
for context, Grant is I think you've told me before he's your favorite player.
Yeah.
You're a big fan, so I'm assuming you're following kind of his moves.
Because his hustle. I love that. You're never getting cheated for watching Westbrook. He's never sitting out games, taking games off. He's
a hustler.
As hard as he can. Now,
I respect his hustle for sure.
Yeah, he might take 13 threes and make 2 of them, but
very bad.
He's
got 0 for 5 in his most recent game.
Ooh, rough.
Yeah, and Draymond was guarding him from the paint. He was guarding him from way inside. Westbrook would be outside dribbling the ball at the 3 line. Wouldn't even think about shooting it, dude. Hilarious.
Another good transition that we're having right here. We're having a lot of good transition. From Westbrook is Jokic had the 100th triple-double. And for a big man in today's NBA, back then, who cares? But in today's NBA, a big man having his 100th triple-double, that's huge. That's huge.
Jokic is a generational talent. I'm a big fan of Jokic.
Yeah, not many big men average over 4 seasons.
Not many big men are as fluid as a player of him. Most big men are 1, maybe 2-dimensional. Even the best Giannis, he's now developing a good shot, whatever. He's kind of transforming. But Jokic, he's physical. He's got an incredible mid-range, an incredible 3-point. What can he not do? He's probably... I think he's one of the best passing big man of all time. He's probably one of the best passers in the league. Have you seen some of it? Crazy. He is one of the best players in the league. Top 5 in my opinion. Doesn't matter what position you are. He's a killer. I love Jokic. And he just has that rough and tough style, which I really
if you're a young player, and there's a lot of great big men in the league right now, if you're a young player, you should want to model your game after him. And that's crazy to say because there's Giannis's. There's, you can almost say KD's. There's Joel Embiid's. But Jokic is just the most he feels he just doesn't have any weak points. Besides his team. His team's a little weak. But
maybe his speed, you could argue, but he's not even slow. It's not even that's a thing.
It never hurts him. I give it to you that he has
maybe, that's really being nitpicky. It's not even he's slow. He's just not Giannis is quick.
Yeah.
Giannis is pure. Well, I wouldn't even say he's pure physicality because he's been developing other things, like for instance his shooting. But like his physicality is what gets him to like to where he's just quick and also like he's probably one of the most physical players in the league. You could not stop him. You could double or triple team him. You could not stop him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Jokic has that same too, but but Jokic is like he's not really like. He doesn't really have any quick first step like highlights. You know what I mean? Like
when you look at like Giannis, like you look at his body like ripped, blah blah blah. Like Jokic, he's not.
He's a slob.
He looks like an average dude. You know what I'm saying?
He looks like he went like in a Russian coma. He looks like he
exactly.
looks like he was like born like as like a mutant in like whatever Russia. I know he's not Russian, but like he just looks like he was like the village mutant, and they're like and he just started playing basketball and whatever.
All right, so Kyrie to the Mavs. Shout out Pacers. We beat them.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. We beat them 124-122. Kyrie missed a big shot at the end.
Good. I like Kyrie a lot. I do. So.
I like that move just for the sense of like, for like 2 or 3 years now, I've wanted to see like what can Luka do with like another good player. Like he's had decent players, but he's never had a good or great. And
the best player he's probably had was what's his name? Who was just always injured, big, tall, skinny.
Porzingis.
Yes, but he was just always injured, so they could never really.
And even at his best, it's like who cares?
Now Kyrie, I like him. Now Kyrie's clearly one of the best players. So is Luka. If you had to ask anybody, should they be matched up together on the same team? Most people would probably say no. Like it's not your ideal player to give Luka, but.
If you're the Mavs, you got to get somebody.
You got to get somebody. So, I'm not mad at him being there, at least for the rest of this season. We'll see. But, it is cool to see, man.
Yeah, I'll definitely be excited to see him in the playoffs. Like, what can you do?
Yeah.
100%. Last point, Mathurin, 6th man of the year. We got to end with some Pacers stuff. So, the other contenders I've seen are Jordan Poole, Malcolm Brogdon, and I almost want to say, Westbrook was one of them, too. One of, like, the top 5. So I feel like
Mathurin, might be a hot take, is better than Russell Westbrook.
17.5 points off the bench, which is like I think 6th all time off the bench, and he's a rookie. So
you tell me. Okay, Jordan Poole is clearly that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but he has a great team around him. Whereas like,
right, and also you told me even Malcolm Brogdon was one of the people.
Yeah,
I former Pacer, cool, whatever. It's not Malcolm Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon, there are many games, where he just does not perform well.
Yeah.
Or doesn't get enough minutes, whatever you want to argue. But Benedict Mathurin has come off the bench and been consistent. Anytime I see Benedict Mathurin get off the bench and start playing, I get excited. Like, yes, he's going to contribute offensively, defensively. Like, he's going to be a good part of this game. Like, if Malcolm Brogdon gets put on the Celtics, you go, who's replacing? It's what I mean. It's like you know what I'm saying. Like Jordan Poole is a great player,
and that's one reason that I see a lot of Pacers fans get upset with Rick Carlisle that they're never like starting Mathurin when a lot of situations he would be. But I think the confidence it brings if you win 6th man of the year and the like no pressure, you're coming off the bench always. There's like no pressure on him all season. Like if he has an off game on the bench. Nobody cares, dude.
Right.
It's not his fault they like lost the game. Whereas like if he's a starter and he shoots 1 for 12 and like they lose the game by 2, like that's your fault. And
right.
So I feel like it's a great like development move. So
it is. I think Rick Carlisle knows what he's doing.
Yeah, a lot of Pacers fans think he doesn't know, but I think he's doing a great job.
I think he's doing a good job. We had the Pacers goggles on at one point, going, "Hey, this guy's going crazy." Because at one point he was like averaging like 20 plus points a game earlier in the season.
He had a 30-point game in his like 3rd game.
You're right. Yeah. So we're just like, oh, and then obviously he kind of settles in a little bit. We go, okay, and we were at the time we were like, why is he not starting? But he's it's his first season. He's getting his feet wet. Let him develop. Boom.
So that's all we got here. Signing off, Grant.
Zay, fuck the Celtics.
Fuck the Celtics.